What's going on, everybody? It's Andrew and Matt with Disarranged. Join us this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, as we are joined with Jody Trierweiler, an expert, a certified nutritional coach and nutritional consultant.
She is going to tell you everything you need to know about why you feel the way you feel post-transition and how to get yourself back on track.
Welcome to Disarranged 1775, your #1 live talk show. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, my friend?
Man, episode 23.
Yes, I'm sorry. We came on right as Bruno was drinking his water, and of course, it's like an elephant in a trough. I can't mute my mic because we have to say hi to each other. So it's the stars align, pal.
Well, I'll keep up that bad behavior, and you can be replaced. So
right. How's your week been?
I'm doing all right, man. Had a little bit of a wild week, but which we'll get into all that later on. But yeah, how about you?
Just busy as always, man. Busy as always, work and everything else, work and life, but not too bad. And I'm excited about tonight. So
yeah, me too. On a side note, we didn't talk about this, but I'm really digging your hair. I love the flow. I love it, but I mean, it's something. I wish I had the flow and I went and shaved it all off. But
well, I'm holding on to what's left of the front of it because this is running away. But I don't know.
Marines don't retreat.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, our social media has been doing a little bit better. I think we're getting a little bit more ground on some things, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And again, we always want you guys to know we love you. We appreciate your support, and anytime you can give a like and a share, we greatly appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Turner. I'm the host of Disarranged 1775. Joined with me is my friend and my co-host, Matthew Gardner. Tonight, we have a great show planned for everybody. We're going to be continuing our conversation from last week and I believe the week before about healthy habits and talking about our continuation of our 30-day Get Right Challenge. Tonight, we have a very special guest, a true expert in her field. We're joined with Miss Jody Trierweiler. I really do hope I'm saying that properly.
I think so.
A certified nutritional coach and consultant. Just to name a couple of things she does. Her resume is very impressive. With regular appearances on Detroit's Channel 4 news segments, Live in the D. We are very, very excited and honored to introduce Miss Jody Trierweiler. How are you, ma'am?
Hey, you guys.
Hey, Jody.
You've already made me laugh a couple times, so this is awesome.
We're doing part of our job.
The dog, I'm in completely.
You got to roll
out of the gate. What's with the crayon in the logo?
I saw you look at it. Turner, you want to take this one?
Okay, so Jody, it's been known that United States Marines enjoy to eat crayons. So there's this long meme joke about Marines.
They call us crayon eaters.
Crayon eaters, yes.
Yeah.
It's very funny, but I've never, as a civilian out here, I did not know that. So
yeah, I saw you look. I saw you look.
Like, crayon? Okay. Maybe they want, kids follow along.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever. It's cool. Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Oh yeah, thanks for being here. This is awesome.
Yeah, no. So we do appreciate you being on, and I want to let everybody know that's here live with us. We have a special treat. What we're gonna do, Jody, is at the end, towards the end of our conversation, we're gonna open up the lines and hopefully get some sort of some feedback, maybe some questions live for you to be able to provide our live audience, and then therefore, obviously, this is gonna go on all our channels, and everybody can check in with it later on. Sound like a plan?
Awesome. Love it.
All right. So with all that being said, we have some questions for you that Matt and I kind of sat down the other night, and we thought would be appropriate to kind of introduce our concept of getting right. But before we get into all that, could you give us a brief background of who, what, where, and where you come from?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome.
I've always been excited about exercise and fitness, and I ended up going to college at Eastern Michigan on a cheerleading scholarship, and that started my love of exercise. And I started with a biology degree, which I quickly lost interest in, so I graduated with a sports medicine degree. And after I graduated from college, I ended up working in corporate fitness, and in the Detroit area, we've got all those auto plants. So I helped the plant set up fitness centers right inside, and employees were able to work out, while they were at the facilities, which was really cool. And then I got certified to teach fitness classes. And I will tell you, because I know I like to shock viewers, I got certified to teach fitness classes in 1992. And so I've been teaching classes kind of on and off ever since then. But I've just really always loved fitness. I ended up selling pharmaceuticals for a while because fitness, although it's wonderful, doesn't pay as well, right? So I learned a lot about pharmaceutical drugs. I worked in hospitals selling drugs to people legally. And I ended up having a couple really, really hard pregnancies where I had to actually quit my pharmaceutical job, and I was on bed rest, complete rehabilitation. I couldn't even carry the baby up the stairs. I was so ill. And because of that, I really got back into my love of fitness, and I wanted to just really go full force with my fitness career. And I hosted a show on Comcast for a few seasons. Again, I'm a fitness expert, a nutrition expert at Live in the D. And I continue to just broaden my education and get more certifications and continue to learn and to grow. And that brings us to where we are now. I am a supplement expert, and I spent 3 years selling supplements to doctors instead of pharmaceuticals. And it's a different way of looking at things. It's not like traditional medicine doesn't have its place, but my professional opinion after all these years is you need to pair traditional medicine with what's called, if you haven't heard, integrative, functional, or holistic medicine.
Holistic, yeah.
Yes. So you've heard holistic means the whole person. So if you're having GI problems, you can't just go to the doctor and get a pill for your tummy when you might be having some problems up here that actually are causing GI issues.
Right.
That's a great point.
Right? So traditional medicine doesn't look at the kind of the causation of the symptoms. They tend to put Band-Aids on it. Now, sometimes it helps and it's good, right? You break your finger, you go in, you let them fix it. But, you got a sore that's not going away forever. Something's going on. Let's investigate. So that's kind of what I do, is try to help people through nutritional supplements, correcting their diet, improving their diet, and then adding physical fitness and exercise to really increase the quality of life and the quality of happiness.
That's awesome. That's a great introduction. Appreciate that very much. Matt, do you want to hop into our first question?
Yeah, so let's get into it. So the first thing we want to touch on, Jody, is, and when we talked to you the other night, we talked about transitioning. We talk a lot about transitioning out of the military here, but can you talk about the difficulties an active duty military member would have transitioning out of the military, going from high intensity workouts and a healthy lifestyle to where most of us, I could probably speak for me and Turner, there's a drastic disconnect and a change of lifestyle. Can you explain how that would be, it would affect your physical and mental health?
Absolutely. So I've never been in the military, disclaimer, right? I've known veterans and tried to kind of understand. So please, I don't want to overstep my bounds. But what I can tell you from the other end of things is one advantage that someone who has been in the military has is a regimen of discipline. And a lot of civilians have never, ever disciplined themselves to exercise or to eat healthy. So I think a lot of it is a mindset. So when it comes to the mental component, that's not as much my expertise as the physical. So I'll kind of focus on that. But what I can tell you is that continuing to exercise and move your body is so, so important. There are many, many, many studies out there. If you Google it, you'll see that exercise is just as effective as an antidepressant medication in treating both depression and anxiety. That's a huge statement to make. So
Yeah, it's big.
knowledge can be power in this area. So if you have come out of the military, or even if you're still maybe in the military, get yourself in the mindset and understand that that has to be part of your lifestyle as you become a civilian and you're adjusting. You have to make time to move your body, to be physical. We're meant to move. It's a huge stress outlet on top of everything else. Your sleep's going to improve, right? If you're exercising, but just know the facts about the benefits of exercise, aside from, the reduction of disease and cardiovascular and all of that. We know exercise helps that. But when it comes, to the mental state, exercise really, I think that's incredible that it can be as effective as an antidepressant drug. I don't think you go into the psychiatrist and they're going to tell you, why don't we try exercise for about 3-4 weeks and come back and see how you feel.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to tell you that ever. So it's kind of like, we need to share this information with other people. Like I was giving some lectures to high school students because they've actually been affected by COVID very severely. The lack of social interaction and things really, it affected kids mentally. So I wanted to let them know that one of their outlets could be exercise and physical activity. So it's just so important. And if you're never going to feel like it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a fitness expert. If I only worked out when I felt like it, I would probably only work out a couple times a month. I'm just being completely transparent with you.
Yeah.
So you have to know how you're going to feel after, right? So you have to have what is your why that you're doing it? Because I want to feel good. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to lay in my bed for 6 hours with insomnia tonight. So I think you need to give yourself those kind of whys, but exercise is absolutely so critical to continue after you're in the civilian world.
Yeah. So I think when we talked about the mental health part, obviously so when you just stop exercising, you're in that intense environment and you're sitting on a couch, obviously that's going to affect the mental health aspect, right? Because most of us, I will speak for myself, the diet changed in a bad way and, and exercise drops and obviously that affects the mental health. Oh,
absolutely. Another thing I don't know, but do you exercise communally? Are you in a group when you're doing the physical activity?
Yeah, I'm sorry to laugh when you say, because I just think about running around in our little green shorts. Yes, the Marine Corps.
This is where the video clip of you in super short shorts.
Yeah, there's plenty of those with Andrew. So
yeah, I was fancy of the silkies, as they call them. I just loved them. They were free flowing. Okay, but
so
are you exercising in a group together?
Yes, the Marine Corps loves to run at 5 a.m. And all together and singing cadence and in formation, covering a line.
So there's another element that you lose is the communal fellowshipping with other people, camaraderie, and being together. So maybe for you, exercising alone isn't something you should do. You should try to think about joining a running group, or there are classes where men feel comfortable, so you can find I taught a TRX class and 50% was men and 50% was women. And if you guys had not heard of TRX, it was created by Navy SEAL, and it's these nylon straps that can hold 1,000 pounds or something with handles, and they're not stretchy, but you use your own body weight. So you can hold them in your hands, you can put your feet in there, and I'm a master trainer, and it's nothing fancy or dancy, or it's just brute strength and using your body weight. So I think finding a group might really be something that would help so that you don't feel so isolated and you're not missing that social component.
Yeah, and they use TRX in the Marine Corps, by the way. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that's just a good point. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to, for whatever reason, when I set up our link for this meeting this evening, we're big on chats. We have a really great network of people that use our chats, and for whatever reason, YouTube isn't allowing our chats to go through. So I'm trying to multitask. But,
if you're trying to chat, call. That would be even better. We'll chat with you.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to end up having to do, because I don't think I can rush through trying to figure this out. But in terms of joining a group, I think it's a great idea. I actually joined a running group, was it last year? It was the first time I ever went to, outside the Marine Corps. I ran and went to a group, and it was nice, and people were nice and supportive, and supported the military aspect and supported that I wanted to get into like ultra running. But for me, I kind of didn't necessarily like it because it was ran out of a store, so everything I always felt pressured to buy something. I always felt like, oh, hey, like it was just, I'd be stretching after like a 12-mile run, wrecked, right? And like I went there to get training on how to run better because the Marine Corps doesn't teach you anything, like doesn't teach you how to run, but runs you to death.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Right. They never
That's
really
so
taught you. They showed you, they brought you to boot camp, gave you go fasters, and that was
run.
Run. They never taught you the fundamentals of like everything how to do it. So that's why I joined the group, and I did it for a while, and I was really on a budget. And it was $150 to join the group, and I couldn't necessarily afford it at the time, and then I ended up getting out of it just because I felt pressured to buy stuff. But I do agree with the group aspect of
that's interesting. I've never joined a running group, but what are you going to say, Matt?
Yeah, I think I'm out. It's a no for me on the running group now, pal. Thanks.
Running store, I'll tell you right now.
Right,
I don't realize that, but I guess that's true. Why they start the running group? Maybe that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and that's the thing. Like, I respect the entrepreneurial like spirit about it on the back end of it, but for me, I was doing running to help with this, right? And I couldn't see the divide. So actually, with the running group, it kind of falls right into the next question, really, Jody. How does someone who is restarting set realistic goals with their physical activities, diet, and supplements? Because I know sometimes it can be very overwhelming to go, say, from like to start from zero.
I've done so many TV segments and things on New Year's resolutions. And I think this kind of falls into that category of like, probably not someone coming out of the military needs to lose 50 pounds. That's not going to happen, right? But a lot of people set a gigantous goal, and then you go a couple weeks and you're not even chiseling away at it, and you just lose your focus on the goal. So the smaller the goal, the more reachable it is and the more motivating it is. Even things like, honestly, for me, like if I go to 6 workout classes this week, I get to go and get a facial or something like that at the spa. So for somebody else, it could be, you don't have to reward yourself. It just depends, but make it small. And you need to make it something that's measurable, like a number, or if you're trying to lose a pound or 2, or you want to be able to do so many push-ups or pull-ups, something like that. But you have to set it small. And I say a month maximum. Like, this is what I'm going to achieve in this next 4 weeks, and this is my goal. And you could even make it smaller pieces than that. But if you go, 3 months, 6 months, it tends to be just non-attainable, and you lose sight of it. And that's why so many New Year's resolutions fail, because they're huge, lofty, like I'm joining a gym and I'm going to go every day. Be realistic. You're going to get sick. You're going to go on vacation. Your kid's going to get sick. Stuff's going to happen. And so you have to always have part of that. Your plan needs to include hiccups along the way. See, the dog agrees with me 100%. But I always have clients. So I do a lot of either a 10-day detox plan or a 2-week weight management plan where they're drinking shakes and taking supplements.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes people aren't able to do the whole 2 weeks for whatever reason. People have gotten COVID. One girl's daughter got sick. Someone else's mother-in-law passed away. Life happens. So you have to stop the program. You have to be able to plan for those types of things. They will happen. Rather than letting it completely derail you, you take a pause and you get right back on. So I'm sure there are motivational things. What I tell people is, if you're driving your car and you get a flat tire, immediately you're open the glove box and get your big knife out. And then you get out and you slash all the other 3 tires because I already got a flat tire. It's over. Well, obviously, no. You get out, you repair the tire, or you have it towed to bell tire, you fix it, you get back in the car, you keep going. That's exactly how your attitude needs to be with your goals. You have to know from the start, it's not going to be like this. Yay! It's going to be like, oh, yay! That's the journey of fitness. You can't be too hard on yourself about it.
Yeah, I think the challenge for like the transitioning service member is a lot of service members don't like working out, but your whole enlistment, you're told to work out and when to work out. You know, some people enjoy it, and like I started to enjoy running. Andrew enjoys running. So that's the challenge in getting out. It's now no one's telling me to work out, but I know it's a big part of getting my healthy life back and getting things back on track. So what's a small goal for someone like just to get off the couch? And
one thing I want to say about that is you've probably created a belief system that you don't even know is in place, that you feel exercise is a punishment and you're rebelling against it, and you don't want to be told what to do, and I don't have to exercise if I don't want to. So in your mind, exercise is a punishment and it's a domination. So what you need to do is take that belief and say, okay, maybe they used exercise in that way, but what is the truth? Exercise is healthy for my body. It's going to help me live longer. It's going to help me maintain a good weight. It's going to make me super sexy for the babes. So you like, what are those truths? Those are the things you need to look at. But a lot of times we never stop and say, like, I have this belief system that's not necessarily true, but it's your reality.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? It's an interesting thing. And that's like pretty deep. You know, I'm not telling you, you don't always have to go and see a psychiatrist or a therapist and talk through these things, but listening to podcasts and listening to other veterans, this is the stuff that helps you. You're helping each other. So we need to look at exercise as something that is beneficial, and it's self-care. You're taking care of yourself. You're loving yourself. You're treating yourself kindly. But yeah, a small goal is to say, all right, I'm going to exercise twice this week. Right. Or I'm even going to 20 minutes. That's another thing. I said it has to be measurable. An hour is too much for a lot of people. Yep. It's just too much. My degree's in exercise science. It does not have to be an hour. They've proven you can do 10-minute bouts like 2 or 3 times a day and still get the same benefits as a 30-minute workout session. That's kind of, now it has to be a good 10 minutes, right? I'm not saying like 10 minutes of just walking, but tell yourself this week, I'm going to work out twice for 20 minutes. That's very doable. It's very achievable. Something, right? Versus Matt's going to go, okay,
no,
I'm jumping back into
exercise.
I'm going to go 5 days for an hour on the Peloton, but you're not. We all know.
No, you're not going to
do it.
It's not a good way to prevent injuries. I mean, I was on day 4, waking up on the fifth morning, and my knee swelled up like it was a football. So when earlier to your point about having these drastic changes of like activity, and then you hit lows, like I'm at a low again and I just started, I'm like already thinking at the glorious view at the top, being like, man, that's really far away to obtain. But to try to break it down and look at it step by step and setting smaller goals. Now I'm just strictly in recovery mode. I was just starting to get into active mode again and feeling good. And then now I literally within days, I got knocked right back down to below where I had thought I was before.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I always recommend is cross training, diversifying your workouts. Okay. You know, I don't know a runner who doesn't have an injury or had one.
Right.
You can't do one thing physically because our bodies aren't meant for it. You can't bike only biking. It's going to blow out your knees, or running. You can't only do that. And I know that's hard, and that can be a goal over time, but you're running, like you said, 5 days in a row and you hurt yourself. That's too much of the same thing for your body. Maybe you do one day where you're jogging or going on a treadmill, and then the next day you're going to do a weight workout. And then the next day you might do like a Tabata workout with some burpees and some other things like that. And then maybe, I know it might sound intimidating, but yoga is helpful because the flexibility component and this, it's way harder than you think, especially like vinyasa or hot yoga. You'll be crying. It's hard.
I've heard good things about it. I've never done yoga. Yeah. And I've definitely never done hot yoga. I'd be just a hot mess.
The hot yoga. Let me tell you, there's a name for it. It's escaping me right now, but it's 90 minutes. Oh, it's Bikram. That's what it's called. It's very regimented. You do the same poses in the same order. Every class is the same, but it's 90 minutes long. I don't know. That's a lot for me. I don't do it. I've done it before because I wanted to try it, but I hate doing the same thing all the time. But maybe coming from the military, you would like that. That could be something like a comfort zone for you because you're like, now I know what to expect. There's no surprises. So you can look up Bikram. It's Bikram, and you might have one in your area.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll kick your booty though. It'll be funny. That would be hilarious.
I think around here they have something called like Orange Theory. They do those Orange Theory classes, and I've heard that those are pretty intense.
Yes, they switch it up. So you're doing a little bit of rowing, a little bit of treadmill, and then some weightlifting and cross training. So it's not just one thing the whole time. And that's a great class for guys because you don't have to dance, which some guys can, but it's intimidating, I think, to more guys than not. So that's interesting.
Turner likes to dance. Andrew likes to dance. So.
Probably does.
Not with a bum knee. not with a bum knee, but yes, I do like to dance.
Are you icing?
Yes, I'm icing, elevating. Other than sitting here now, I really try to stay off my leg for 2 days. I had a little bit of a go at the VA, which we'll talk about later on in the show. You'll have to tune back in, but yeah, I'm trying to do my best to stay calm, like stay relaxed and just go through the process of healing.
Good.
It's hard. It's so hard, man. So obviously here on the show, we cater to veterans. Just Matt and I are veterans, but we also want to, as we touched on before, connect with our civilian counterparts, if you will, and people that have had dramatic experiences to them. What are some of the professional suggestions on some healthy ways to combat disorders, say like sleep, PTSD, anxiety, or depression?
Well, I'm a nutrition expert and supplement expert. So a lot of times people don't even realize that there are non-pharmaceutical options for some of these issues that they're having. And so let's address sleep first, because whenever I deal with a client, that's the number one thing that you have to get in order. If you're not sleeping well, nothing else in life is going to fall into line correctly. Your body repairs itself. It creates hormones. It does so much while you're sleeping. So if you're sleep deprived and you come to me and say, I need to lose weight or get in shape, I say, okay, we're going to look at your sleep first. How are we going to get you sleeping? And there are some habits, right? Like get off your phone, get the blue light out of your eyes when you're at night. Everybody's phone has a dark mode, and that actually reduces some of that blue light exposure, because blue light tells your brain, stay awake, stay on. And conversely, when you wake up, you want sunlight in your eyes as quickly as possible, because that signals to your brain, and there's a pineal gland that makes melatonin. Have we heard of melatonin?
Yep. Yes.
So you want the sunlight in your eyes as soon as you wake up, as much as possible. And then as it starts to become evening, you want to protect your eyes from the natural, well, the sun goes down at that time. But if you're on your device or you're constantly with your face in your computer, it makes it harder to sleep. So that's one thing that everybody can do. Another thing is caffeine can stay in your system for hours and even days if people are sensitive.
Really? So
for me personally, if I don't stop drinking caffeine by around 2 p.m., it could keep me awake at night. And sometimes people don't realize, they don't know why they can't sleep, but whatever they're drinking, caffeinated drinks or the Monster Energy or even coffee, whatever. That's another recommendation, is to keep coffee earlier in the day and stop and see if that doesn't help you sleep. That's an easy one. You don't have to take anything. You just stop doing the thing that's keeping you awake, right? And then there are supplements that you can take. And the first supplement I recommend is magnesium. Really? We've all heard of magnesium. It's very common. It's found in our food. It does over 300 functions in your body. 300. And it's estimated that over 90% of Americans are deficient. And one of the reasons is the soil actually has a lot less magnesium than it used to 50 and 100 years ago. So we're not getting it through our diet like we used to. And when you're deficient in magnesium, you can get severe muscle cramping. You can have constipation, and you can also have insomnia. So it's really, really hard to overdose on magnesium also. So that's the first thing I recommend people try, is around 300 milligrams of magnesium, and just see if it doesn't help. And if you do that for about a month and you see no difference, then you could try something like melatonin. And that's a chemical that your brain produces naturally. But I recommend starting with only 0.5 milligrams. You'll see supplements over the counter that are like 6 milligrams of melatonin, and like that's a shock to your system. You want your brain to produce it on its own. So you want to start with just the smallest amount, might make a difference rather than overloading your system. Magnesium, you don't have to necessarily start that way, but with melatonin, you do. So sleep, those are probably the top 2. I made a little list here. Oh, there's another one called Pharma-GABA. And that is Pharma-GABA. It's PHARMA, and then GABA is in all caps. And it's a neurotransmitter in your brain. So that has 2 different functions. It not only can help you sleep, but it can help reduce your stress levels. So if you are feeling like you have a lot of anxiety, you can always try a Pharma-GABA supplement. So that's an interesting. I recommend that you, whoever's listening, look these up, read about them. You know, make sure you feel comfortable. Like I'm one person, so I always like if I hear an expert talk about something, I'm gonna look it up on my own too. Just do your research, look it up, see if it's right for you, and maybe whatever you read about it doesn't feel right for you, but at least you have some resources to go from with sleep. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That makes sense.
So I think I figured out the common issue. So we've got the YouTube comments back up. So I apologize if it looked like I was doing one of these on the screen.
It did.
Have the,
it did. We're talking about you. I don't know if you heard
Yeah.
it.
I was. Yeah.
I've got people texting me telling me to straighten up. So
yeah, no, we heard.
Freaking out.
We heard.
Okay, so I want to open up the phone lines. And I want to be able to see if we can have somebody call in and ask you a live question that could maybe help them on the topic of healthy habits.
So while we're waiting on that, I want to post a comment for you, Jody. This is military here.
Okay.
So speaking to that, when Monster energy drinks, when they first came out, I couldn't give you a year, but as soon as those came out, there was not a Marine walking around base with their arm at a 45 with a can of Monster in their hand.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was a staple. Monsters. I never thought they tasted that.
They were good with Bazooka Joes.
What's up?
Go. Here we go. Stand by. Hey, good evening. Thanks for calling Disarranged. This is Andrew. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with? Hello. Hey, what's going on? Is this Big D? Hey, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
Take magnesium every day.
Take magnesium every day. He said take magnesium every day.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And if you're doing it for sleep, you take it at bedtime.
So you use it, Dave?
Yeah, powder magnesium.
Yep, that's a great form. Yep, to take it in powder and you drink it right at bedtime. That's awesome.
Also, you think about powdered vitamins versus pills.
I think they offer just a little bit of a different experience for people who kind of get overwhelmed, and they have a term called pill fatigue. It doesn't necessarily absorb better into your system, one or the other. But taking a powder, I think, is kind of refreshing. Like I take a collagen powder versus it can get to be too many pills if you're taking a lot of supplements. So it's nice to have the option of one or the other. My dad actually has trouble swallowing pills. So a lot of companies make a powder version for people in that predicament too.
Yeah, I take organic vitamin powders, and I find that that's better.
Dave, what do you mix them with?
So I take vitamin C, greens, and magnesium all at once with omega-3.
Do you mix the powder with water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You could take, I bet you're not taking all those at nighttime. From the sounds of it, it sounds kind of like a morning smoothie that you're making.
Yeah, it's almost like a little smoothie. The magnesium tastes like lemonade, so it kind of like gives it a interesting taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do recommend though separating out the magnesium, and if you're concerned about sleep, take it at nighttime, and you'll get a little bit of a better sleep experience. But if you're not having trouble sleeping, keep it how it is. That's fine because it's still getting into your system. That's awesome.
Just wanted to support you guys in magnesium.
Hey, buddy. Thanks, Dave. Love you.
We appreciate you. Thank you for calling in.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that was good, man. I didn't know. I didn't know that about those supplements and their effects of at nighttime.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I posted the comment while Dave was on from one of our viewers that he was prescribed magnesium for migraine. So one of the many things. I mean, and you named off a million of them that helps. I never even knew about it. It's
awesome.
funny, Dave.
That's a good doctor because instead of giving him something like Imitrex or another prescription medication, they're using magnesium, which is much more natural and found in food to help with the arthritis. That's an awesome doctor.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for calling Disarranged. You are live on the air. Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Not bad.
So you have a question for Miss Jody?
Yeah, it's more along the lines of supplementation for. I'd like to know her opinion and/or stance on like testosterone replacement therapy.
Can you repeat that for me?
He wants to know your professional opinion on testosterone replacement therapy. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to a functional medicine doctor and they've done a nice big hormone profile on you and they say you have very low testosterone, then 100% absolutely. It'll change your life. You go from having like no sex drive and being really emotional because you become estrogen dominant as a man. And it really does create, you'll feel just teary and have just a lot more symptoms like a woman would have, honestly. So if you find your testosterone to be low, I absolutely recommend seeing a doctor that specializes in hormone therapy for men. It can make a huge difference. Yes.
Is there any supplements this caller could maybe take to help support that? If so, along with what he's going to the doctors, is there other supplements he could be taking to help support that?
I don't specialize in that area.
Okay.
Just to be completely honest.
Oh, that's good.
I know there are supplements out there for the male prostate and everything.
There's all kinds of testosterone stuff.
Right. But one thing you can do to help support your body's natural hormone production is to eliminate artificial foods, artificial colors, and keep your foods whole and organic. Now, okay. I'll go into a little rant. Now, does he have something else to say? Because I don't want to overtake if he has questions or something.
No, that was just one of my main questions because I heard you talk about getting decent sleep. Our body produces hormones. I know sleep is huge for testosterone development.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, that's where your body makes hormones. But one thing a lot of people don't realize, I'll tell you what, my husband still argues with me about this. I tell him buy organic produce, like important, because when it's not organic, what that means is it's got herbicides and pesticides, and there are poisons that we ingest into our body, and they are hormone disruptors. That means that they disrupt your body's natural hormone production, and it can throw off the whole balance of your hormones. Who would think that? Because the argument I hear, I've been eating non-organic, am I dead? I'm like, I'm never saying you're going to die or that you're going to get sick overnight or you're going to be in bed vomiting. It's not like that. It's right. Over time, it builds in your system, and all of a sudden you just don't feel right. You just feel off and you don't know why. That's because you're putting poison and toxins into your system for years and years and years. So, and strawberries are the number one. There's a dirty dozen list of produce that you really should buy organic. And strawberries are number one. So if you are going to buy strawberries, buy organic. But I always recommend, and yes, it costs more, but you're investing in your health.
100%.
So
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, gym membership costs money, right? Everything does.
everything does.
The more I've learned about it, I can't even buy non-organic produce now. I just know too much. I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep. It's too,
I like
Yeah, can't go back.
yeah, organic produce can make the difference and especially for kids too. You don't want to be feeding kids, they call it conventional produce, which is a weird term, but it's sprayed with poison and you're giving that to your kids, and it'll take years and years and years to build up, but it will.
Awesome.
What if you wash it off?
Here's the thing.
Not being honest.
And how it's growing in the soil.
Yeah.
It's sucking that up into the plants, and it's growing from pesticides that are sprayed all into the soil. So it's not only on the surface of the plant, but it's like sucking that all up into its inner being.
It's a part of it.
Yeah, Matthew doesn't have a green thumb, so he doesn't understand all that.
You're not growing your own plants outside?
No.
Herbs are really, really easy to grow. And they're a lot of times like animal resistant, and herbs are absolutely loaded with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that grow herbs.
Eggs or make a couple fried eggs, chop up a bunch of fresh sage or fresh basil all over it. Like it's amazing the vitamins and minerals that are just in fresh herbs.
That's
pretty
great.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Caller, thank you very much. Did you get your question answered?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate you very much. Take care, brother.
See you, brother.
Yes, sir. See ya.
Yeah, that was cool. We love hearing the phone ring here. It's pretty fun.
Yep.
So, Jody, I thank you.
Depression?
What's that?
Can I tell you a couple supplements that could help with depression?
100%.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that come out and suffer with severe depression and then have to go on antidepressants. And I actually, when I sold pharmaceuticals, I launched the drug Lexapro. If you've ever heard of that, Celexa was the original, and they came out with the isomer, and that was called Lexapro. But anyway, I worked in the psych wards at the hospitals, selling the medication and learning a lot about it. And there's a natural form. Okay, so SSRI is what Lexapro is. Like Paxil is one, and Prozac is one, and Zoloft. These are all SSRI, which means selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Very fancy term. All it means is it's making more serotonin in your brain. Serotonin is the feel-good hormone. It's responsible for your mood, for your sex drive, for your energy. And there is a supplement, and it's called 5-HTP. And that is a precursor to helping your body make its own serotonin. So it's not serotonin. You're not taking a prescription drug, but it's got something like theanine in it that the HTP is, and it helps your body to make its own serotonin. That's the bottom line. Wow. It doesn't work for everybody, but it's worth a try. And also sometimes if you're working with your doctor, you can titrate off of an antidepressant and start taking the 5-HTP, but you don't want to take them together because you can have something called serotonin syndrome. Right. So you need to be careful if you are taking an SSRI, this is not for you. But if you are feeling depressive symptoms and maybe it's not severe enough where you need to get on a prescription, that's always something to try.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Rogan swears by 5-HTP.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he talks about it all the time. And I wanted just a quick second question to the serotonin. You talked about what serotonin does, and the sex drive, was one of them. So a lot of people know, right, when you're on antidepressants or all these medications, the sex drive suffers. Mm-hmm. So where's the disconnect there? Like why is it it's when it's supposed to be bringing it up?
I know it's just an unfortunate side effect of the SSRI drug category. And a lot of people, it's not just sex drive. It can actually cause complete anorgasmia where you just can't even have an orgasm at all. So quality of life, you have to weigh that. So if you are taking an antidepressant and you're having that issue, it's worth having a discussion with your doctor and saying, look, I'm miserable, right? Because it's like, okay, maybe you don't feel so depressed on the regular, but you have to balance it all out anyway. So I'm glad you brought that up because this is real life and that matters to me. Your sex life is important. And the 5-HTP doesn't have that side effect. There's another herb that's a supplement that people will use when they're feeling depressed or stressed, and it's called ashwagandha. It's a big long word. Ashwagandha. It's actually, it's kind of hot right now. It's like becoming really popular. A lot of different companies have supplements. There's even a gummy supplement, which when it comes to vitamins, gummies are not good. They can't get the dose high enough for them to be therapeutic. So if you're taking a gummy vitamin D or a gummy vitamin B, no.
What about for your hair and nails?
I know, the pink ones from Target. I know what you're talking about. Are they delicious? Yes. Are they candy? Also, yes. Should you take them? You know, you probably have to take 15 of them to get the therapeutic dose. I'm not lying. Don't really take 15. I'm just joking. However, when it comes to other things, they can be put into gummies and they can be effective, like apple cider vinegar. Those can be a great gummy. Ashwagandha makes a pretty good gummy. There's a company called Goli Gummies that I'm affiliated with them, and I have a discount code. And I wasn't planning on like plugging it, but if you want to buy
do it.
I was gonna give you a tip.
The code is just Jodys FitLife. That's me on Instagram and social. Jody with a Y, Jodys FitLife. But you get like 15-20% off. I take the ashwagandha gummies and I sell nutritional supplements on my website and not those. So I'm just telling you, like, I have no issue with good products that are other companies, but ashwagandha, I used to take Lexapro for at least 10 years for panic attacks and anxiety attacks. And I could feel the difference within a week of taking the ashwagandha. It was awesome. And I was working with a psychiatrist because I wanted to titrate off of the Lexapro and I needed something in the interim. So we just did ashwagandha for a while, but then we added 5-HTP. So I have personal experience. I'm not just telling you.
That's
actually helped me. See, ashwagandha is amazing. It really is. But it helps a lot with just general stress. It's an adaptogen. That's adaptogenic herbs, if you haven't heard of this. So people look into the ashwagandha, look into the 5-HTP. A couple other things that can actually help with your brain health, and new data is coming out to say that they're beneficial with depression. One is an omega-3. We've heard omega-3s have been around forever.
Yeah.
But the research now is that it can really, your brain is fat. It's made out of fat. Omega-3 is fat. They're fatty acids, mostly derived from fish. That's the source, but you've got DHA, EPA, which are big, long, fancy terms. It's fish oil. That's what it is. But your brain loves it. So if you're trying to heal something with your brain, taking that fatty fish oil can be really, really helpful. I have family members that have had depression, and I have them taking omega-3 every day. Omega, it's OMEGA, and then a dash, and then 3. So omega-3.
She might have been. I think she might
have meant ashwagandha.
Girl, of course she was. Can you type it in the chat?
Yeah, if you spell it, I'll type it.
Okay, ASHWAGHANDA. And if you can get the Ashwa part, ASHWA, you'll find it in Google searches. It'll come right up. People spell it all different ways. I'm sorry. I thought omega-3, that was so stupid.
No.
Hey, listen.
Jay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we've got the omega-3 for brain health. Definitely one. As a side note, it also helps with weight loss because your body needs omega-3 every day, and your appetite will continue to tell you you're hungry because it doesn't have enough omega-3. And you're going, I'm hungry. I want to eat Doritos. You eat the Doritos, no omega-3s there. So your body's like, guess what? Still hungry.
Yeah.
And it will tell you to keep eating, but you're not eating healthy. You're not getting the nutrition.
Right.
So that's a lot of times where it's like, why can't I satisfy this hunger? Because your body is craving nutrients always. It's never craving a Pop-Tart. It's just not.
I don't know about that.
I think it is. And then the other one is a probiotic. If you're not taking a probiotic, they find that a disbalance of the gut microbiome or the bacteria in your gut, which is all your intestines and your stomach, can affect depression. Okay. So if you're, people, I eat yogurt all the time, this and this. are you really eating it every day to get enough probiotic? I say just take the supplement. Make sure you have it on board. It's not going to hurt you. I take a probiotic every day. I think it's really important. And again, for weight loss, can a child take omega-3? Yes, they can. They can. The only thing is they make liquid. So I know a company that makes a smoothie and they have like a lemon lime flavor, a mango, because chances are kids aren't going to be able to swallow the pills. So if you go to like Whole Foods or Plum Market or one of those stores, you're going to find the omega-3s might be in a refrigerated section, and look for the bottle that's a liquid, but make sure it has a flavor because kids aren't going to be down with just tasting
the fishy tasting pill.
Yeah, exactly. So I would look for something that says lemon because that tends to go well with fish.
Right. Yeah, lemon.
Right. Like what else goes well with fish?
It does taste like fish, though. You're right.
Yeah,
A little bit. And certain brands, you'll notice you can get like the fish burps is what they call them.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I don't get that from mine, but I think that's kind of trial and error. And also, guys, I'm going to tell you this. Try to resist the temptation of going to a big box store like a Costco or a Sam's Club and buying a thing of omega-3 that's this big for $30.
Okay.
Because the oxygen breaks them down. They oxidize essentially. So you need a smaller container that's dark or, totally.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like the Healthy Valley ones. Is that the Healthy Valley?
So sometimes you buy the big containers, and especially when it comes to omegas, they've got a lifespan limit. So don't try to get the biggest thing for value. You really don't ever want to buy the cheapest supplement out there because you're probably not getting the best quality. And probiotics need to be refrigerated. So if you can't find them in the store, they might be in the refrigerator section. So keep that in mind because not every brand does, but some of them do because they're living cultures. They need to stay alive. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of information I'm throwing at you.
Well, thankfully, if this was a lot to digest and you didn't write it all down, this episode will post immediately after on YouTube at Disarranged 1775, so you can watch it a million times, pause it, write down all the great information that Mrs. Jody Trierweiler shared with us tonight.
Yeah, Jody, we really do want to thank you very much for your time. If it's okay with you, we would really like to check in a few weeks or to see if we can add to this of our healthy habits and building blocks for our audience and future audience members to come back to Matt's point and refer back.
Love it. Thank you guys so much. And all the comments were awesome coming in. I could see them as they were popping up in the chat. This could go on for hours, really.
Yes. I did want to give you a chance. I know we don't have a huge audience, but I want to give you the platform for you to promote anything that you've got going on with yourself, any new projects, any professional things you want to share. This is your time to let our audience know kind of what you got going on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My new website was scheduled to launch today, and I did a live segment, and the developer last night at 10 o'clock called me, and she was super upset. So the site's not live. Okay. But you know what? All I said is it's in God's hands. There was a reason it didn't go live. So it's it's being fixed. But I created a 1-month program, and I know this might sound funny to you guys, but it's called FitLife for Moms. Because my focus is stressed out moms. I'll tell you what, every wife of a veteran has been under a lot of stress, right? Worrying about her husband. I mean, come on. You can't not worry when you're married to a veteran. It's just part of the package. So I did create a program, FitLife for Moms, and you can go to fitlifeformoms.com. My regular website is jodysfitlife.com, and that's the one that is down, which is just awful. But maybe if you're watching this recorded, we're hoping to have the problem fixed in a day or two. But I sell nutritional supplements, and I offer consults on my website that you can sign up for. And if you want to talk to me about your nutritional needs and you're confused, because as we just understood, supplements can be overwhelming. You take your vitamin D with food. Did you know that? It's fat soluble. If it doesn't have fat, it doesn't get absorbed well. So if you're taking it in the morning on an empty stomach, probably not absorbing your vitamin D. It's like too much.
Yeah, I don't know any of this stuff.
I am more than happy to help you understand, your body, your needs, all that stuff. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, or even on Instagram, you can send me a private message. It's Jodys FitLife. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. And what we'll do for you, Jody, in our description below and throughout our social media, we'll continue sharing your content and your message. And again, I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Jody.
Thank you guys for having me. This was awesome.
We appreciate it.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
Bye.
That was great, pal.
Oh man. Now, so let me tell you. Well, first of all, I'm wondering why my brother didn't tell me about the magnesium. He's been taking. I don't know anything about anything. You know what I mean? Really, I think that. I mean, the omega-3 I took, and I know your body needs fat.
Yeah.
Right, and it's a healthy fat. So and it's good for your heart. And I always felt like it helped my cardio as well. I forgot to ask her about that, but there's so much information. I will have to go back and watch and pause. And
yeah, me too. She started rattling things off, and between jumping and trying to figure out how to get the comments, I felt bad, but I was like, man, I didn't expect all that overload of information. It was awesome.
She is a encyclopedia of information. It was a blessing having her on. And if you watch tonight and you watch the episode, you have follow-on questions, let us know. Or like Jody said, you can DM her, private message at Jodys FitLife. And we'll
find her on Twitter, Facebook, everything under Jodys FitLife. You find her. It's very easy. I found her on all our social media, so we're following her now. Excuse me. So that was a great little interview, but I think we got a lot of good things out of that for our audience. So I'm very pleased. That was great, bud.
And I was actually surprised about how many comments we got from veterans that use stuff. Yeah,
I didn't know any of that.
I didn't know any of it, dude. I mean, yeah. So and I need to. That's the point. I need to. So it's good stuff. That was a great episode, and we appreciated her coming on.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to again, like you said, go back, kind of watch it in a slower pace, and really take in what she says. Build something, and we'll put it in the descriptions and everything like that, and we'll definitely talk about it next week.
Definitely.
I'm excited to venture down this supplement path and kind of learn about things and start supporting the body in a healthier manner.
Yes, sir.
It's been awesome, pal. So what do you got smirked on over there, buddy? I know you got something.
I was reading McDonough's comment.
What did he say? Oh, God.
Yeah. I was trying to give Jody a taste of Marines with Tate's comment.
No, that one might top it right there.
that probably would have iced it there. Thanks, Dan.
That's awesome.
If it works for, what's that, Bob?
Should we open up the lines before we get out of here?
If someone wants to call, why don't you? Let's open up the lines, and I want you to talk a little bit about the VA experience that you went through, because I know all of us use the VA, and I think it's a good talking point, and it deals with transition directly and the stuff we deal with every day, right? So you're feeling.
So I told everybody about, I had a little knee problem going on, so I went to the VA here in Baltimore, and just didn't really have a good experience. But it was to make a really long story short, I wasn't getting any type of good care. And then when I decided to go help myself to ice and things to raise my knee up per their instructions that I should be doing, that's when I kind of got confronted, and one thing led to another. And the Baltimore VAMC Police Department was dispatched to room 107 in the emergency department. I happened to be in that room, ironically. Weird.
What a coincidence, huh?
What a coincidence. But all aside, it was tough, man. Everybody knows that the VA has really shitty care. And
some of them. I speak well of mine.
99% of them are shitty care. And I just happen to go to them sometimes. And it's hard, man. You're in there, you're in pain, and they're not doing anything, and you kind of just feel like you're just being pushed through.
Yeah.
Like a slaughterhouse almost. To as gruesome as that sounds, but it started as soon as I got there, man. I was in the waiting room, and they're screaming my social security around. They're screaming my full name. They just don't care, man. And
No. It's sad. It's sad, dude. I laugh kind of as a defense mechanism, but it's
because
it's
you know
sad.
how I am. You've seen me in action, right? So you can only imagine what went down in the emergency.
Well, what was the first thing I said to you on the phone? I said, well, if they would have known what a marshmallow you were, they wouldn't have called the cops. They would have just brought in the most petite nurse to calm you down. Like, hey, sit down. Okay.
Yeah, but it's really easy to say that when you're all the way in northern Michigan. And I'm over here in North.
Or they could have called O'Neill. So.
Yeah. Okay, pal. You're a funny guy.
No, but you were justified in your feelings, and I
didn't feel good about it, man. And I know, my girlfriend puts in a lot of hard work in what she does in the medical field, and I see the effort she puts in and the above and beyond attitude that she has, and these people can't do basic triage.
Yeah. And
you kind of understand the pay and rank structure when you're going through it. Man, it really pisses you off. You're talking about bending a healthcare curves. You give me 20 minutes in a hospital, I guarantee you I could bend the curve. Because there's a lot of people, dude. I had 15 people stop and ask me after I got off the elevator if I was a veteran to show me their ID. And then asked me put on bracelets and shit, dude. It was just like ping pong, wing boom, dude. There's just wasted resources everywhere you turn.
Well, you're in the VA. Why are you still showing your ID when you're?
Dude, you can't get into that garage with the elevator that I came up through without showing your ID. There's 2 officers as soon as you pull down into the parking ground. So those elevators, you can't if you're not an employee or if you're not a veteran, you're not getting into that access. And dude, it's just like you feel like you're getting messed with. I limped. Now, mind you, when I walked in, my knee was the size of a football. You couldn't see any definition of my bone. You saw it. And not one person asked me if I needed a wheelchair. They made me go out of my way to go get a mask to put on. I didn't know that. I thought the mask thing was over.
I have to wear a mask too in there.
And then when I get in there, it was I don't know, just a shit show. But it was very very hard.
Yeah. So I'm looking at some of the comments. Like Cruz said, he has to only show his ID once. The one I go to, I have like a scanner bar on my ID. Do you have that on your VA ID?
A scanner code? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah. So when I walk in the building, I scan it, and that's it.
No, I don't know, man. It really it kind of just like it was a crazy end to a beginning of a crazy week, right? Like it was a long week for me, and I definitely didn't need that experience at the VA. So
yeah, well, dude, I laugh about it, but it's not funny. Obviously, we have a passion for our veterans. We are veterans, and
well, dude, it's not even about the veteran. Like, I don't care about the veteran part of it. Like, screw all that part. It's just humanity, dude. Like, it was just.
That's true. That's basic triage humanity.
Triage, basic care for humans that, if you are in that building at one point in your life, you wanted to get into healthcare because you wanted to help people. I don't care how tainted you are. You're in that building. When someone goes there and they're in that much pain, I wasn't faking it. My knee was.
Oh yeah, I seen. Yeah.
Right. So and I literally couldn't walk. I almost fell through doors and stuff. Like, not one person lended a helping hand to me, and I was at a hospital. Yeah, it will never compute with me, and it hurt, dude. It hurt my feelings. It's like, what the?
I bet.
What the heck?
What I'm saying is, like, yes, basic triage, basic treat, but you're there for something. Your knee's jacked up because of the service that you gave to this country. You're going to a hospital they told you have to go to because you're a veteran, and you can't get care there. Right. And that's unacceptable.
Dude, the police officer even said, "Why aren't you taking care of his knee?"
Yeah.
So I was very anxious to get out of there and come home.
I bet.
So I've been laid up for a couple of days, but we're moving on. We're moving on.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we'll leave the other story. We'll leave the other story. Let's leave it on a good note. Let's leave it on the VA note.
Whoa. Don't do that.
Well, okay, all right. So
what do you got?
we'll do it. All right. So, and talking about your week, something else happened to you, right? I mean, you had another.
Yes. All right.
You had another stressful experience, if you want to call it that. I mean, so set the stage for us.
All right, so here we are. I'm just gonna break it down real quick. I had another little episode in the beginning of the week that probably didn't help set the stage for the VA. I was really hungry. I went out to eat, and we get our food. It gets set in front of us. I ordered a BLT. It's not hard. Can't mess that up, right? I picked the BLT up, and as I go to bite into this BLT, it is the hardest, most dry piece of food that I've ever put in my mouth. And I instantly just set it down, and I shoved the plate away from me. And I was okay for the first 35 seconds. And then, dude, I was sitting there, and I was on fire. I started stewing, man.
What did the bacon look like? The bread was hard. What did the bacon, the lettuce, what did they look like? Were they fresh? Was the bacon well cooked?
How do you dry out lettuce? It's like 92% water. How do you?
Oh, here we go. Not answering.
Hello, thanks for calling Disarranged.
I'm just tuning in for the BLT story.
we'll save it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, you can stay on the line. So the bacon was black. It was disgusting. And before we were rudely interrupted with this phone call, I don't know how to use this.
I know that voice.
I know that voice too. It's our friend, Mr. Tyler Glanda. Thanks, buddy. I don't know how you dry out lettuce, and the tomato was less than par. Okay.
Well, let me take it to my side of it. I'm driving to work. It's 7:03 in the morning, and it's 7:03 in the morning. I'm in my car. Andrew Turner's name pops up, and usually it's something about an idea for the show or something. He's like, "Hey, bud." I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" Had a bad night. I'm like, okay, or are you in jail or what do you mean you had a bad night? He started talking about this bread, and I was like, I almost lied. I almost had to pull over. The passion and the intensity that he described, the way the hardness of the bread. Now, I want you to continue because this situation got better, right?
Yeah. So basically, I'm with my girlfriend, and she clearly sees that I'm starting to get visibly upset.
Clearly.
And I've got this stare going on, and I'm probably, let's say, 10 paces away from the kitchen door as it's swinging open, right? And it's got one of those 12 by 12 windows. And I'm sitting there, and I'm on fire. And I see the cook walking back and forth. So I'll catch him for a split second, and you come back and forth. And I'm sitting there, and I look over at my guy. I'm like, "You want to know what I want to do right now?" I was like, "I want to take this in there, and I want to make him take a bite of it and ask him, is this what you would serve to yourself and or your family? And if so, please, sir, move aside. Let me teach you how to make a BLT, because this isn't it, pal." And so my girlfriend's like, "I don't need you doing that," right?
Yeah. No one needs you doing that.
Well, you know what? It's brother.
Let me ask you this: when you looked at the the cook or the chef, did he look at you? Did he have a grin on his face? Because I can picture like you seeing his face through the crack and him like smiling.
No, dude, no, he had his back. It was just the back of his head, and I was just
Okay.
like, I'm gonna go. I want to go in there. So
Okay.
the waitress. So I look at him. I look at my girlfriend. I'm like, we are not paying for this. I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I was like, who would serve this? And I go off, right?
Yeah.
So the waitress comes over, and I start shaking, and I'm just like, I show her the plate, and I grab the bread, and I was like, would you eat this? And I raised it up, and I was just like, and it just crumbled. And I was like, because I want to go back there and ask the cook if he would eat it. And she was just like, dude, she looked at me in complete disbelief.
Did you explain to her that you're a free-loving hippie?
I did not explain to her that I'm a free-loving hippie.
Okay.
I was not in that moment. I
All
was
right.
very upset. I was hungry, right?
Okay.
My girlfriend, she had a bomb dish. Her meal was perfect.
Well, maybe it was her attitude that made the food taste good.
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't know.
Okay. Well, how would her attitude have?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
how would did I tell you a story about how I was being an ass and when I was ordering? No, I was happy when I was there. I was happy to get a BLT with avocado on it.
oh, well, Courtney says it was a dive bar. So,
Is she in the comments right now?
so the only thing that would have made this story better, as I play it through my mind,
Okay.
is as your furious tempers building, if this cook or chef walked out and jammed that thing in your mouth, because if I was there, that's exactly what I would do.
Pal, I wish you were the cook. I wish the cook would have come out. I really, because there was not an ounce of me that was not going to say something to him. Dude, as soon as he would have came out with his empty Coke glass to go over to behind the bar to get a nice Coke.
Is that what he was doing? Getting Coke?
No, I used to work in a kitchen. I used to do that. So I'm just thinking he'd probably do something similar. There would have been something said there, and would have been something said. How do you mess up a BLT? That's what I'm saying. Done.
Did you send it back to get another one?
As soon as you send food back, you are a subject for anything that comes out on that plate is your fault.
He just pouted until they left, and then called me, and then called you.
Okay, Tyler, I needed to vent, guys. That BLT really got me spun
I'm not
up.
discouraging it.
What's that?
I'm not discouraging you calling.
So let me ask you this. What made you more mad? Your experience in the VA? Not being able to walk, or this crumbly bread that this guy served you? I knew it.
There was a level of me that understood if I was going to the VA, there was probably a 90% chance I was going to get fucked with. But if I order a BLT, I expect an average human being understands how to make a BLT properly.
That might have been how he thought to make one.
Whoever.
Maybe you don't know how to make one.
Who thinks that, Matt?
Maybe you don't know how to make one, bud.
Pal. Okay, that's funny. Pal,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you. No, I mean, you had a rough week, bud.
It's been a long week. It's been a long
week.
Tyler, how are you?
What's that?
I said, how are you, brother?
I'm fantastic. I'm taking all my supplements, with the exception of one that you mentioned. So
Really? That's awesome. Do you want to share how your 30 days has been going?
17 pounds so far in 3 weeks.
Oh, that's awesome, brother.
You're down 17 pounds in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Congratulations. I wish I had a button to cheer. Yay!
I'd rather you didn't.
Okay.
That's good stuff, man. That's great.
Congrats, man. That's really cool, brother.
And I slowly put my calorie intake back up, so I'm also maintaining it. I'm not having that fall off.
Good. Good. Well, that's
that's working out well, and sleep is much better. Whatever supplement I take for the sleep, I'm not sure what it is, but knocks me right out. And I'm getting at least 6 hours, which that's more than double what I normally get.
I was gonna say it's a lot better than what you normally get, my friend. So, well, that's awesome, Tyler. I appreciate you calling in, man. That's great progress. 7 pounds, 3 weeks, and he's getting 6 hours of sleep on our Disarranged Get Right challenge. Appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah. Talk to you guys later.
Love you, buddy.
Yep. See you, bud.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, what a big, Tyler's number one fan.
Well, my good friend.
Well, my good friend. It was a good night. Episode 20.
It was a good night. Yeah.
Turned out to be a very good night. Any final thoughts?
I'm just looking forward to continuing this and researching all the stuff and seeing the results and having Tyler call and basically say that what Jody was talking about works,
Right.
and what we've been talking, healthy lifestyle, it works, so
It's just putting it to work and putting it to action. So I'm looking forward to documenting more of our journey, more about the recovery of the knee. I'm excited for you to get back into the supplement part and start, kind of taking charge of your health. And I hope everybody out there that's watching learned something tonight. And you can always go back to our YouTube channel and check out this episode and go back and watch it, take notes, and refer back to it when need be. But I hope everybody out there tonight learned something and is just that one step closer to committing to a healthier lifestyle and implementing healthier habits within your everyday to-day life.
Right.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being here live. And if
thanks for being here tonight.
Some other time, we appreciate you stopping by our channel. Again, my name is Andrew Turner. This is my co-host, Matthew Gardner. We are Disarranged. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Be safe. Have a good week.
Welcome to Disarranged 1775, your #1 live talk show.